Hello. Today we're going to talk about what's happening if you tend to stay in relationships too long. This could be romantic relationships, it could be friendships, it could be both. But basically, you know that it is past the point of being good for you or the most aligned relationship for you. And you stay longer than you should because it's more comfortable than dealing with the chaos of leaving or of hurting that person. And usually what happens is the universe will end it for you. And it ends up being more painful. The other person leaves, and they might be leaving as a result of the way that you're acting, almost like forcing them to play their card. And you might be doing this consciously or unconsciously. But it's like if you're staying too long and forcing them to do this, it's likely gotten to the point where you're letting yourself get hurt so that they don't have to get hurt, or what you think is them not getting hurt. So I want to explore this pattern today and kind of like why it could be happening, how to forgive ourselves for letting it happen. And if you're able to recognize and meet this truth in yourself, then that's a very courageous thing to face. Noticing that you stay in relationships past their expiration date, it's not out of weakness, but likely out of a deep desire for stability, care, and not wanting to cause harm. You don't want to be the one that initiates pain, and that's called compassion. But when it's turned inward too late, it can look like self-betrayal. And so when we think of the universe stepping in and tearing things apart because you didn't, it's not punishment, it's a mirror. It's reflecting to you what your own soul already knew, your own inner knowing, your wisdom, and knowing that you are ready to evolve, even if you won't leap on your own. It's doing it for you. So if you're feeling like it's more painful this way, that's because life is asking you to grow through the fire instead of you just walking out calmly through the door. You are strong enough to walk out through the fire, but you don't always have to do that. So some ways that you could start to break down this pattern, to end this pattern, are to practice loving endings, and you can start small. So instead of waiting for everything to collapse, practice setting boundaries, practice saying no, or practice stepping back when your intuition is speaking up. And a good reminder here is that endings can be loving. That's something I need to write down. They don't need to be dramatic. You're allowed to leave with tenderness and with peace. So again, endings can be loving. The second piece you could try is noticing your threshold for discomfort. So getting curious here. What are the emotions that are making you stay? Is it guilt? Is it fear of being alone? Is it a sense of identity that you feel in that relationship? They are all beautiful needs for connection or for purpose, but you can learn to meet them in healthier ways. And just because you have them, you're not needy, you're human, and we have needs. Third, is affirming to yourself that you can make hard decisions and stay loving doing it. So let that be your new compass. Leaving doesn't mean abandoning. It means choosing alignment over fear. You're not causing harm by walking away. You're preventing prolonged suffering for both people. Lastly, in breaking down this pattern, invite support into the process. So you don't have to leave alone. You can call in a friend, a therapist, or even just your journal as witness. Let somebody hold you while you take that brave step, and let it be sacred. Let it be growth. Let it be something, a gift to yourself as you walk through this new, more aligned version of your life. And last thing I want to cover is how to think about forgiveness here, because I think sometimes what I do, what we all do, is we notice these trends in ourselves, these patterns, and we're hard on ourselves, or we're mad at ourselves. We don't like ourselves for doing this. And so it's important to extend forgiveness and compassion, not only to others, but to yourself. So just remind yourself, you have never done any of this to harm yourself. You've never done any of it to harm anyone else. You stayed because that was what you knew how to do with the tools that you had. And you stayed because part of you hoped that things would change, or because you saw the good in them. And that is love. It might have been misdirected love, but it was still love. So forgiveness is not saying I did nothing wrong. It's saying I now understand why I did what I did, and I choose to love myself anyway. I'm going to end this with just a little 2-sentence guided meditation we can do together. You can say it after me, or just close your eyes and say it in your head with me. But close your eyes, put your hand on your heart, and say, I forgive the version of me who didn't know how to leave. I honor the part of me who stayed for love, for comfort, for hope. I am growing new strength now. I can be both kind and free. All right, that wraps up today's little journal entry. So leave a comment if you want to discuss further.